I just generated a production-ready Maestro test in under 5 minutes. It passed on the first run. A lot of people think AI-powered test automation is just opening ChatGPT, typing "generate a test," and copying whatever comes back into the project. Honestly, that's usually the fastest way to create bad automation. In my last video, I showed why most AI-generated tests fail in production and how engineers end up with flaky, unmaintainable automation. Today, I want to show you the other side, because the real value of AI is not test generation. It's accelerating the entire engineering workflow around automation. In this video, I'll show you how I go from a testing idea to a production-ready Maestro test in minutes. The first thing I do is give AI context. This is something that many engineers skip, and it's usually why they get disappointing results. In this example, I'm working with an existing Maestro framework that already contains reusable subflows, helper files, naming conventions, environment variables, and a structured architecture. Instead of treating AI like a standalone chatbot, I let it analyze the actual project. That allows Cursor to understand how automation is already written, which patterns exist, and how a new test should fit into the framework. Now here's something that surprises a lot of people. My first prompt is not "generate a Maestro test." Instead, I ask Cursor to act like a senior automation engineer. I give it a business scenario and ask it to review the project, identify whether the flow is valuable to automate, analyze risks, suggest reusable components, and think about the problem before generating any code. And honestly, this single step saves a huge amount of time, because most automation problems aren't caused by writing YAML. They're caused by automating the wrong thing, missing important validations, or ignoring existing architecture. A few moments later, Cursor analyzes the repository and starts reasoning about the flow. It identifies reusable components. It explains why the scenario is valuable. It highlights validations we should care about. And most importantly, it confirms that the flow actually makes sense from an automation perspective. This is where AI becomes much more interesting than simple code generation, because now it's helping us think like engineers. Only after that do I ask Cursor to generate the implementation. But even here, I'm not asking for random YAML. I'm giving it constraints. I tell it which architecture to follow, which reusable components to use, how files should be organized, and what conventions already exist inside the project. The quality of AI-generated automation is directly connected to the quality of instructions we provide. Good context produces better output. Good architecture produces better output. Good prompts produce better output. Within a few minutes, Cursor generates a new Maestro flow that already follows the framework conventions and integrates naturally into the existing project. And this is where I think many people misunderstand AI. The goal isn't to eliminate engineers. The goal is to eliminate repetitive work. Instead of spending hours building the first version manually, I can focus my time on reviewing, validating, and improving the result. After that, I simply run the test. In this example, the generated flow actually passed on the first attempt. But honestly, that's not the most important part. In many real projects, the first version won't be perfect. You may need to fix selectors, adjust assertions, improve synchronization, or refine the flow based on real execution results. And that's completely normal. AI-assisted automation is still an engineering process. The difference is that you now have a collaborator helping you move significantly faster. And this is exactly what we're covering in Module 7 of our Advanced Mobile Automation with Maestro course. We don't just teach how to prompt AI. We're teaching how to build real AI-assisted automation workflows using Cursor, prompt engineering techniques, project context, architecture, test generation, and engineering review practices. Because the engineers who will be the most valuable over the next few years won't be the ones avoiding AI. If this is the direction you want to take your automation, the link to Module 7 is in the description. Check it out when you're ready. Subscribe for more content like this. New videos every week on modern automation, AI workflows, and what it actually takes to grow as a QA engineer today.